Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into something pretty critical, honestly, an emerging cybersecurity threat called Slopsquatting. It sits right at the intersection of AI development and security, and it's kind of chilling for anyone using AI coding assistants. It really flips the script on software supply chain attacks.
It absolutely does.
So our mission today is to unpack this. What is Slopsquatting? How do these AI tools, the ones meant to help us, actually create this vulnerability? We'll look at the implications, which are pretty far-reaching for developers, for organizations, and crucially, what strategies you can actually use to defend against it.
Yeah.
And for this deep dive, we've looked at a new Trend Micro report, plus some other expert takes to really get you the latest on this. So get ready. Because if you touch code or AI, it's directly relevant. Okay, so let's start there. AI is supposed to be our helper, our co-pilot, right? How on earth does it become this vector for an attack?
Right. It's a really interesting twist on an old trick. Slopsquatting is basically a, let's say, sophisticated evolution of typosquatting. Where attackers grab domains or package names that are just slightly misspelled.
Yeah, counting on fat fingers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here, the typo isn't human. It's the AI itself. It capitalizes on coding assistance. Think tools like Claude Code CLI, OpenAI's Codex, Cursor AI when they hallucinate.
Hallucinate.
Yeah, they suggest plausible sounding but totally non-existent software package names.
Okay, so like phantom dependencies. I saw that term.
That's the one. Imagine a name like, say, Starlet Reverse Proxy. Sounds completely legit, doesn't it?
Totally. Sounds like something I might need.
Right. But it doesn't actually exist in the public registries, like PyPI for Python or NPM for Node. So the attack is malicious actors are actually monitoring these AI hallucinations. They see these plausible but fake names pop up.
And they jump on them.
They quickly pre-register those names and then publish actual malicious packages under them. So a developer trusting the AI suggestion might just go ahead and install it, and bam, malware gets pulled right into their system.
Wow, that's clever. And insidious, really. And I saw the name Slopsquatting itself actually came from Seth Larson at the Python Software Foundation.
That's right. Yeah, Seth Larson coined it. And it's a great name, actually. It really captures that slightly sloppy AI-generated suggestion leading to a very real danger.
It does. But okay, the big question for me is still how. How does an AI, which we think of as logical, just make up a package name? What's actually happening there?
Yeah. It's less about logic and more about statistics. The AI's core job is generating sequences that are statistically probable based on the mountains of data it was trained on. So even if a specific package name doesn't exist in the real world, if it looks like a plausible name based on patterns the AI learned.
It'll suggest it anyway.
Exactly. It's sometimes called context gap filling or surface form mimicry. The AI is essentially filling a blank space with what looks right, statistically speaking, rather than what is right factually. It's not lying, consciously anyway, it's just completing a pattern. And the scale isn't trivial. A 2025 study found something like 20% of over 500,000 AI-generated code samples reference packages that just didn't exist.
20%? That's a lot.
It is, and it varies too. Open source models like CodeLlama and DeepSeek, they had hallucination rates up around 21.7% in that study. Whereas commercial tools like ChatGPT 4 were significantly lower, down at 5.2%. Still not zero, but definitely lower.
That difference is really stark.
Yeah.
So, okay, 20%, even 5%. What does that mean in practice? Has anyone tested this? Are there real examples of this, risk in action?
Oh yes, and it's quite eye-opening. Back in 2023, a security researcher, Barlan Yaddo, noticed LLMs were hallucinating a package name, huggingface-cli.
Okay, yeah, that sounds totally plausible, like a command line tool for Hugging Face.
Exactly. So Lanyadо, just to demonstrate the risk, went and uploaded a completely empty package under that exact name to PyPI.
Ah.
And the results were, well, astonishing. Over 30,000 downloads in just 3 months.
30,000 for an empty packet.
30,000 downloads just because the name sounded right, presumably suggested by an AI somewhere along the line. It just shows how fast a non-existent, potentially malicious package could spread if it looks legitimate.
Wow. Okay, 30,000 downloads. That really makes you pause and think about how often maybe we've just hit install without double checking, So zooming out then, why is Slopsquatting such a big deal for you listening, for your organizations right now in 2025?
Well, the core issue is trust, isn't it? Slopsquatting isn't just another bug, it's a systemic threat that directly weaponizes the The implicit trust developers naturally place in these AI tools. AI feels helpful, its suggestions seem plausible, so we trust them. And that trust becomes the attack vector.
Right. And as AI coding assistants get used more and more,
The attack surface just explodes. Exactly. Imagine a single compromised package, maybe suggested by an AI tool, gets pulled into your company's CI/CD pipeline.
oh man.
It could potentially infect thousands of downstream applications, maybe across multiple projects or even customers, before anyone even notices. And you can't just rely on checking if the package exists on PyPI or NPM anymore, because the attackers can register these hallucinated names so fast.
So it sounds like this isn't just a one-off problem then, it's connected to a wider set of issues with AI security.
Absolutely. If you connect the dots, Slopsquatting fits right into this bigger picture of AI-related vulnerabilities. We're also dealing with things like prompt injection.
Right, where you trick the AI with hidden commands.
Exactly. Or code execution flaws within the models themselves, or even data leaking out through AI interactions. It really highlights how AI's strengths, its automation, its pattern matching can actually be turned against us by cybercriminals.
Okay, so given that the AI is kind of the source of these phantom names, what about us, humans using the tools? What's our role in all this? Do we just, I don't know, stop trusting AI?
No, not necessarily stop trusting, but definitely approach it differently. It's funny, NVIDIA's CEO made a really interesting point recently. He argued that using AI with critical thinking doesn't dull our skills. It actually enhances our cognition.
Huh. Okay, I like that take.
And that mindset is absolutely key for fighting Slopsquatting. Developers have to verify the packages AI suggests. Don't just blindly accept them. It's not about teaching AI. It's about shifting to maybe informed skepticism. You validate before you execute.
Right, like that X post you mentioned, always verify AI suggestions, especially code downloads.
Yeah, exactly. That human ability to pause, question, validate, understand the context, that's maybe our most powerful defense right now.
Okay, that critical thinking piece is huge, but practically speaking, beyond just being careful, what are the concrete steps? What should organizations actually do to defend against this?
Right, fortunately there are practical things. Tread Micro and others have outlined some solid strategies, really focusing on a mix of tech safeguards and developer practices.
Okay, let's break those down. What's on the technical side?
All right, first up, provenance tracking. This is where software bills of materials, SBOMs, become really critical. Slopsquatting kind of pushes SBOMs from just being a compliance thing to being a real-time defense against these AI-generated phantom packages. You need to track where every piece of code comes from.
Got it. SBOMs as active defense. What else?
Next is automated vulnerability scanning. You absolutely need tools like, say, Safety CLI or OWASP depth scan integrated right into your build pipelines, your CI/CD.
Yeah.
The goal is to catch a malicious package before it ever gets deployed, before it hits production.
Makes sense. Stop it early.
Then there's sandboxed installations. This is huge. Any AI-generated code, any newly suggested dependency, run it first in an isolated environment. Think Docker containers, maybe ephemeral VMs. That way, if something does slip through, the potential damage is contained. It limits the blast radius.
Okay, sandbox it first. Good practice anyway.
Definitely. And finally, on the tech side, real-time validation. Tools that can actually check suggested package names against trusted repositories, like right when the AI suggests them, catching that hallucinated name immediately.
Okay, so those are the tools. What about the people side? The developers?
Yeah, equally important, maybe more so. Developer training and policies are absolutely paramount. Teams need specific education on these subtle Slopsquatting risks. Foster that critical thinking we talked about.
Right, makes them aware this is even a thing.
Exactly. And enforce strict policies around vetting dependencies, verifying signatures, don't just click install. Also, run regular incident response drills. What happens if we do pull in a bad package? Teams need to know how to react quickly. And there are tools that help here too, like socket.dev has a GitHub app and a browser extension that try to spot malicious packages in real time while you're browsing or coding.
Oh, that's handy, like a little safety net.
Kind of, yeah. And underlying all of this is really fostering critical thinking in AI workflows. Encourage developers to actively question the AI, critique its output, like the NVIDIA CEO suggested. It needs to become part of the culture. Questioning AI isn't distrust, it's just good, secure development practice. And tools like Sonar Source for code quality can also add another layer, checking AI-generated code for security flaws.
So putting it all together, it really feels like Slopsquatting is a prime example of how fast cybersecurity has to evolve in this AI age. Looking ahead, how do you see this threat and maybe AI vulnerabilities more broadly shaping up?
It's definitely showing how quickly threats adapt, yeah. And while, thankfully we haven't seen widespread confirmed Slopsquatting attacks reported, at least as of mid-2025.
But the potential is clearly there.
Oh, absolutely. Experts are pretty much unanimous. It feels like it's only a matter of time. As more and more development workflows rely on AI assistance, the opportunity for these attacks just grows exponentially. And it's crucial, I think, to remember this isn't happening in a vacuum. Slopsquatting is one piece of that bigger puzzle prompt injection. Potential data poisoning of models, dependency confusion, it's all interconnected.
So you can't just fix slop squatting and be done.
Exactly. A piecemeal approach just won't cut it. Organizations really need a holistic, layered security strategy. You have to balance the amazing productivity gains you get from AI development with really robust safeguards. It's about innovating, yes, but innovating securely.
This deep dive really hammered home for me how AI's creativity, its ability to generate plausible stuff, is, well, it's a double-edged sword for security. But the good news, I guess, is that the steps are there. The technical things like SBOMs, scanning, sandboxing, and maybe even more importantly, that human element, the training, the critical thinking, it's all achievable right now.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening. As AI keeps reshaping, well, pretty much everything, staying ahead of threats, like Slopsquatting, isn't just about having the right tech tools. It's really a fundamental shift in mindset, about how we interact with these intelligent systems, how we verify what they tell us. That's the real long-term adaptation needed.
Well said. For more details on everything we discuss, you can definitely check out that Trend Micro report and the other sources we used. We encourage you to keep digging, stay curious, and stay secure out there.